was a great arrangement of the classic tune Infinized by Wayne Shorter. Rusty put that together, and he put it together in the ECM style. For lack of a better term, I call it straight eighth note improvised music. It's not swing, not Latin, not rock, but it's just this nice flowing straight eighth note feel. One thing that's paramount is that the band figure out the band eighth note. So our eighth notes have to be flowing from player to player, and if that's happening, there's a real magic that happens with this music. For me, this music is cymbal based because that's where my eighth notes are going to reside, nice legato eighth notes. And on this particular version, I used the good old Vic Firth roots, but I've kind of beat them up a little bit. Took a hammer and beat them up. But for me, they get a nice puffy sound on the cymbal, and it's a nice cross between sticks and wire brushes. So I really enjoy using these and finding tools that support the music. These sound really nice, I think, for bass solos because it gives the rhythmic pulse, but it's not overbearing. Roots, beat up.
The feel that we just used on that version of Wayne Shorter's Infinized is one of the most fun and engaging feels to play from my standpoint as a bass player and with the drummer. It is sort of a ECME straight eighth note feel, but unlike a straight eighth note feel that comes from, say, a Latin or Afro-Cuban or Brazilian tradition, it doesn't have a specific groove or type of bass part that is expected to go with it. So what you're left with is a lot of freedom in choosing where you take the rhythm of the groove underneath the melody and the blowing on this tune. So I try to keep in mind the fact that originally this tune was a very beautiful, slow, understated, quiet performance, and keep that in the back of my mind as we sort of play more with the rhythmic subdivisions that are inside this more kind of, I don't want to say driving groove, but slightly more active. And you may have noticed on the performance that the way we were playing this, there was a lot of room to react to what somebody else was playing. So if Rusty goes somewhere with a solo, or if Steve emphasizes certain rhythms or sets up a certain repeating pattern or any kind of hits like that, we're all very able within the freedom and flexibility of this groove to go with that. So it can go a lot of places, and for that reason I think it's a really, really fun and worthwhile approach to give to tunes.
So on this tune, Infinized by Wayne Shorter, the original is very slow and drawn out, and there's certain parts where the band actually waits for Wayne and he delays his phrases, I think, in the way that we're doing it, as Steve described, kind of a eighth note ECM style with keeping things open. As a vibe player, this is a great chance for you to play a melody and maybe answer yourself. You can play the melody that's there and then kind of fill in some of the spaces with the actual harmony and kind of let it all wash together and ring. It's a beautiful tune for that. Also perfectly symmetric with itself. It's 3 9-bar phrases, and I think Wayne Shorter was obviously a genius composer, but the tune doesn't feel strange. In other words, like we're used to 8-bar phrases. So you have beginning phrase, which states the melody, then you have a kind of a pedal-like bridge, which does some what we call harmonic planing. So you have a pedal note, and then the chords kind of slide around underneath it, and then it kind of works its way back to the theme, back to the kind of minor thing. It's to me, one of the greatest tunes ever written, and like I said, 3 9-bar phrases that just work perfectly within themselves.